Let's fight. A very good evening to each and every one of you, wherever you're joining us from. Welcome in the ring. Good to have you here. Pace and power, boots on the ground, supernatural forces and spirits of the PPP. Those are just some of the things we're going to discuss in this evening. But good to see you, Dolly. Bantu King says, release the Jumbie bird. Debbie Collins says, good morning. Where Debbie joining us from? That's why I want to know which part of the world. Like Debbie in London, Deb's in the UK. How you guys are doing out there? Good to see you. Wherever you're joining us from, folks, pace and power, boots on the ground. We're happy that you all are here with us. Alana George, Debbie Holding Court, Monica Farrier. Good to have you, Floyd. Jacob Sward. I see Kirk is here. Tessa, Celeste Kite. Good to have you there. Wilma Garnett, Rochelle Johnson, Lyndon Gale, good to have you as well. Pace and power, good folks. Pace and power. Enid Biggins, Tracy Clark, good to have you. Wendy Caesar. Who's sharing the live for us, guys? Who's going to smash that emoji button? Who's going to be the first stop, folks? Let us at it. Good to have each and every one of you here with us, good folks, wherever you're joining us from. Pace and power. You got to do what you got to do, folks. Good to see each and every one of you here with us. Share the live, good folks. Smash that emoji button. Come on, guys. You know what we got to do. We're holding for a couple of you. We're ready to go. We're fired up tonight. And we are ready to go, picking up from where we left off this morning. And then we're going to advance a little bit into the National Assembly. It's not oftentimes get to show you guys some of what's happening at that end. Good to have each and every one of you here with us. Good folks, fired up, share the damn live, smash the emoji button, let me go along the road. Partner with us as well, good folks. We crave your indulgence. Partner with us. Partner with we. Be happy that each and every one of you joining us, folks, wherever we are joining you from. Those folks who are joining us from Atlanta, we heard we got quite a fan base in Atlanta. We can see y'all soon. We can see y'all. Who vex? Who vex, folks? Good to have each and every one of you folks. We are delighted that you folks are here with us. We are happy wherever you're tuning in from. I hope you fired up. You're ready to hit the ground running. Good to have each and every one of you here with us. Thanks for sharing our broadcast. You know, there's only some people that share, like Juju. Some people that share, like Sylvia Allen and Roxy Daly Austin. Thanks for sharing our broadcast. Stephanie Pearson, Flora Jacob Sward. I think we can only call them people who share us, like Andrew Griffith. Good to have you, Bernice, Bruce James, folks like that who share our live broadcast, who smash the emoji button, Joylyn Cook, Rolinda, waiting on you guys. Good to have you all. You know, we got the technology to see who share the live. We hope you all know that. Share the live, smash that emoji button, folks. And my Lord, get us a nice place. Get a nice pod. And Majorca Fire voice, get a nice pod. Yeah, he was lying. Every day, folks, is something. Never dull moment. We love it. You can't pay we. We go live in the States. You can't pay we. Hold on. Let me rethink though. Let me hold back in the wall. A little bit. Yeah. Even if you want to give me a American citizenship. No. I love this country too bad. Hold on, Shed. Hold on, the one. Hold on that note. Hold on it. Guys, we're happy to see each and every one of you there. Alfred and Sabbath Zal. Andrew Griffith, good to see you, Andrew Faye and Edward, Linda Booker, Joyce, and Singh. Good to see you, folks. We hope you all had a good breakfast, had a good lunch, and folks, moving into dinner. Sorry, obviously done last dinner since 5 o'clock because you are big like that. Helen for the nightcap now. But good to see each and every one of you on the live. Cornelius King, Susan Jacobs, Asquith Shaw, Cecile Ogle, Daphne Adams, fired up and ready to go, folks. Let them at us. Let us at them. Gotta find it out, good folks. Peter Jeffrey, the bishop, is here. Respected by us. A lot of folks from the UK joining us. Valerie Moriah says Brooklyn's in the house. Good to see you. Juju, Karen Thorne, Donna Brandt, good to see you. Is it Debbie Lamazon? Is it Debbie? Marva Alexander, Alfred Jordan, Quanamingo, Kyle Hudson. Guys, we're happy and we're delighted that you folks are here with us this evening. We are nothing short of happy and delighted. We got a lot of things to share with you folks. We got quite a few things to share with you. We hope you're all set. As I said, we're picking up back from where we left off this morning because this story got teeth. Well, folks, this one got some teeth on it. Oh, my Lord. No, I'm gonna brush your hair. Linda Booker, Helena Alfonso. What do y'all make of this? This is the one dominating the headlines. It's not Jack Neo press conference, it's not Parliament, it's none of that. So if Jack Neo tune in tonight, you may not see yourself, sir. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know he's rough you up after your press conference. And if you look at things, you like when you get rough up. You like when you get rough up from the look at things. You look like them people who say, rough me up a little bit. Rough me up a little bit. You see? But I think tonight is the night. I think we can take a break. You see? And don't take it. Look. Good to have you here, folks. Well, you all know, folks, a young lady, 15, went on at 16, made some damning allegations against the then Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Najim Darmalal, accusing him of rape and sodomy. She gave a statement, she take it back. She get 3, she take 1 back. Folks, this has been nothing short of a merry-go-round. We're dizzy at this point. Dizzy more than busy. I only use the 2 words because they rhyme. I know busy could be dizzy. Maybe swaying in the wind, but we're dizzy like busy. Dizzy, back up yourself. Ever Simone Broom's voice, back up yourself. Back up yourself. Well, last evening, folks, a young lady came out, Magico, Wells Felix. She came out to say, it didn't happen. I come to tell you for the final time, it did not happen. That's what she said. Tyreek Ibrahim, good to have you on Mala Pandey. Yolanda Thomas, Pace and Power. Lester Williams, good to see you. Joy and Bailey, good to see you. Claudia Simon, Wanda Wilson, Norma Jones. Come on down to The Price is Right. Roxanne, Rodella Garnett, Lester Williams, Sandra Hanover, Auntie Sandra. You believe this story? She said it happened. It didn't happen. This thing looked too staged. That's what a lot of folks say. It looks too staged. Oh, y'all should see the beating on TikTok. In the Glenn Lal voice on TikTok. You should see what the folks on TikTok said about this issue. My God. But check us out on credible sources on TikTok. On TikTok. Folks, in the majority, people are seeing through the story. Kwame read the script right. Kitten, Tagman. No. Let me do this thing over again. Maybe we got to call in some of the young people. Carl Williams, Claudia Simon, Sabat Rizal. We got to call in some of them young people from the theater. They could do a better work on this. Folks, I would show you all if I had to do this, how I would do it. How I would do it if I had to do it. But if you can go now, right? Tagman like they're in a different era. This thing and thing, they're ready for the social media age. That is what I want to tell you. They are not ready for the social media age. We didn't know this young woman before now. We didn't know her face. We didn't know her name. And those who in the media fraternity who knew it, understand that by law, you could not hear it. You couldn't show her face. But she ran out without the parents, without a guardian. Run out. I have seen conjecture online that this not be the girl. That's how this country has been low on trust. Some folks say, this is not she. People comparing photographs and all kinds of things. They said it's not her. I tell you, somebody came out last night and they said, she's the girl purporting to be the girl. Quick intro. And proceeded to say, the thing never happened. Right? There was no sex. And the gory details did not happen. That's what she said. That's the new allegations now. It did not happen. Folks, I ain't want to lie in the young lady. God knows. Right? God knows I want to lie in the young lady. You see? I don't want to lie in her. This is some of what she said, folks. This is some of what she said. This is some of what she said, folks. And we can take it as the opener. This is some of what she said. Take a look. Take a listen. Some of what she said.
Quick intro, I am Anasi Fredericks, and now that I'm here with my face attached to this entire conflict, I wish to say that this is my resolution, and I will not reiterate further or speak of this again in the future. I hope this brings clarity to those of you that are dissatisfied and continue to question my integrity. Here in my hands, I have a detailed account of what I will be addressing today. Firstly, I'd like to say that at no point would anyone, all inclusive, agree to release such an explicit letter about themselves into the public's domain. I know how Guyanese are, and I did not come in here to be disrespectful, but these are things that don't sit right with me, and I had to say something about it. This letter was not written by me. If your wise analysis has led you to many conclusions, what happened to this major detail? I stand firmly by the two statements I made immediately after the letter started circulating on the internet. The first statement was given to the police, where I clearly stated that I had nothing to do with the letter circulating in the public's domain. The second statement was written by me and posted on my personal Facebook page, where I distanced myself from the letter. This was never examined from all perspectives, but the public picked it up and ran with it regardless. I have since issued a third statement, which was sent to several media houses and media personalities. Unfortunately, the other media houses did not publish my third statement, but were quick to publish about the social media letter written by a fake account. This is very obvious to me that they're more focused on truths to scandalize people. Yes, Kaichor News front page. A letter with no signature, but the one with the signature was completely ignored. Since this most recent statement by myself has not been met with public acceptance, I am saying this for the final time, with my face now shown for all interested people to see, that I categorically state that there was no sex and the gory details of the alleged event did not occur. These allegations have caused me and my family great emotional harm and tremendous embarrassment. Unfortunately, for the curious, I will not justify my words because I can say one thing. It was justified to those who needed a justification, and in my opinion, that is enough. All I would say is this entire situation was forced upon me by people who I have never met or people that know me personally enough to act in my best interest. It was never my desire to include my family in any discussion related to this topic, but it is a matter of exploitation by devious people, especially to me. It was an obvious plot to set up to destroy the character of the minister. I expected it to be calm after he resigned. Unfortunately, that was not the case. Also, I was made aware of comments made by a local Amerindian organization, EPA, which stated that I wished to be emancipated from my parents. I am very disappointed in this organization for making such claims. This is totally ridiculous and true, and I really expected better. As I said before, APA or anyone else has no authority to speak on my behalf, and for their knowledge, my parents are the closest people to me. Also, I would like to urge the opposition to stop speaking of indigenous people because every day this sector of the population is affected and these people are quiet 98% of the times. I feel bullied by those people on Facebook. As I mentioned in my statement before, I have no issue with the minister. Since I have been in the safety of my parents, I did some research in the Shanaz Hussein profile and found that it may be a fake account created solely to damage the image of Mr. Dharamlal. I would like to apologize to Mr. Dharamlal. Thank you.
Folks, is it us? Let's get a little thing attitude in it. Is it us? Or this thing heavy on the politics? The Amerindian People Association, the APA, they get slammed. You see? Kaichur News, who's them? They get slammed. A little heavy on the politics. The opposition, And it looked like a political speech to me. It got a little tinge there. Again, folks, again, I want to tell you, I'm not attacking this young lady. It's the content of this presentation here. You see? That is what we're attacking. That's what we are deconstructing. That's what we're unpacking. The content of what she said. And part of what she said is that she's standing by statement 1, 2, and 3. I said 1, 2, and 5. It's 1, 2, and 8. There's a lot of statements out there. But I want to tell you, that was episode 1 of season 2 last evening. That was episode 1 of season 2. Because we hear Melly Mello, the whole thing. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. We hear Melly Mello, the whole thing. Folks, don't tell nobody, you know. Who can share the live for us tonight? Who can smash the emoji button? So by the time we're dealing with that this morning, folks, by the time we were dealing with that, we on the front. We see some things dropping on social media, voice notes, recordings, you name it. Dropping other statements. Other statements were dropped. Right? Some people see the girl nice gold chain. Some people see the Apple Watch. Right? $25 million don't look ugly. Nice hair and so on. Outfit. $25 million don't look ugly. That's why I want you to know. 25 million look real nice. 25 minutes look real nice. Folks in the street say Melly Mello the whole thing. Because we saw and heard some voice notes dropping. And these statements are correlating. So I don't know. One of them we heard and saw. I don't know. She might get another video out after this program. My God. And I found them for that. They released a video last night after the program. The wicked. They're wicked. They knew we would have covered it. They didn't want us to have the first scoop. They published the program afterwards. But now let's make this about us. Folks, if this thing went on any longer, Joan Marie, Facebook user, candidate in the cheat, if this thing go on any longer, you will hear next is I rape them lol. This thing changing in all directions. Right? Allegations of damn lol rape her. She raped them. That's not me. Just like can be charged. And got to research, you hear I rape them lol next. This thing, it is contorting. This thing running longer than the O.J. Simpson trial, and you know they run for about 6 years. Day after day. Court scene after court scene. This can be longer than the O.J. Simpson trial. This can be longer than the 10 Commandments. 10 Commandments were 7 hours long. This can outdo that. This is what, week 10 we in? Season 2, episode 1. And this season have 21 episodes. Season 1 had 21 episodes. Season 2 now. Folks and Melly Mel know the whole thing. And in that vein, folks, we heard all kind of thing chopping. Right? A statement that is alleged to be attributed to the very same girl we heard on social media, making allegations against Najib Damlal. It is alleged that she made allegations. She alleging the allegations against Damlal. There's a lot of allegations and alleging happening here. But we want you to take a look and take a listen and come to your own conclusion. This is one of the things that dropped on social media. So this is episode 2. Episode 1 was last. Come on, folks. Come on, pick up the pace. Keep taking the pace. Pick up the pace and stay with us. That was episode 1, season 2 last night. Now this is episode 2, season 2. Stay with us, folks. Take a look and take a listen. Some of that allegations in that recording we heard this morning. So I don't know if there can be a repudiation of this one, because this is another statement. Take a look, take a listen, share the damn live as well.
So if you read this, you would understand what exactly I meant when I said my story isn't the ideal one. However, he met me when I was 15. You know what this man told me? I wanted to fuck you since the moment I saw you. Yeah. However, I was 16 when it happened. He told me that when we were having sex. I I don't want this to be about me. My main objective of this is basically so he I just want him to be exposed for the person that he is, right? I personally don't want this to be about my experience. I I know I can't do this by myself. I mean, I got social media, of course. I got a bunch of people on there, but I know that's not strong enough. I even got people in the ministry that I know, but obviously they're not gonna take my side if I'm to say something like that, or even like yeah, I might as well just be. I can't explain, but I know you get what I'm saying, but being honest to me, that's how I feel. I'm scared to come out with it. But what happened, it was not right. And when I actually did my research on him and see what he does, I realized that I was just another one of his victims, and I couldn't keep it in any longer. So I had to come clean. Yeah. And the person that made those posts that I sent you, I messaged her and I basically got I got all the information I needed about him, and she wanted me to do a video, and I don't know how exactly she expected it to reach the president, but I don't feel safe doing that at all. I don't want justice for myself. I want him to be stopped and put down. Basically, that's just it. Because, like I said, I blame myself for for it happening to me. I take some responsibility for that, but it doesn't change the fact that he's a predator. And he goes into interior regions, and you know, I guess he does his job like a part of his job to go and sleep with the young girls, and they're just. One time he impregnated one of them and then abused her because she didn't want to throw away the child. Yeah, and then he just paid the parents them more money and they cover it up if you see the thing. So that I I don't know, man, but just let me know what you think. Now you see, here's what happened. I'm an AC. I'm 16. I turned 16 last year, September, and this happened last year, December. I represented Region 2 at the Amerindian Heritage Pageant that he had last year, September. And that is basically how I came into contact with him. Um, I don't want my name to go out there with this because I am very much too young for this. I cannot handle confrontation, and I know for a fact that if he finds out that I am basically doing all of this right now, he might probably just see me as a threat, and you know how that's gonna go. Um, I have I have the entire incident typed out. I'm gonna send that to you. However, I could have probably went public with this by now, but I've seen how this was played out previously. Last year, March, he was this girl from overseas exposed him basically. She said that oh, the sexting scandal that was in last year March, that I don't know if you know about it, but I don't know I don't know who is behind this account. I know you want it and what's that. But I I don't care as long as I get an unbiased opinion from you. And here's what, my story is not the best one to put on the cover. The stories that I sent you, I think they're more legit. I still blame myself, want to know for what happened. That was why I said that. but I will share it with you, and I hope. Well, I know it will be confidential. Yes, but that's all that I have to say.
Bang bing, bang ping. Share the live, good folks. Smash that emoji button. Bang bing, bang ping. Yep, those are very strong allegations. It is alleged, it's the same young woman who alleged that the former minister did what he did, rape and sodomy, and who is now going back. I didn't see anybody, hear anybody prodding hard there. You know, she said she was, in her statement, situations were forced upon her. So will the right victim please stand up? Folks, never dull moment. People say, Melly Mel know the whole thing. Story here now. Veronica, you see, maybe we should just let this matter go to court and let the court decide. This thing now get layers like a onion. Layers like a onion. I try to find my way in the notes. And layers like a onion. I don't think you get a script. I can't get a scripture and read two things here and try to keep the thing coherent and concise. Don't come wrong with funny. Please and thank you. Don't do it. Folks, you know, I came right on the set from the National Assembly where the sitting of the National Assembly was happening. And then the opposition got called. You know, we were advocating for all of the victims out there of rape, heinous, despicable, reprehensible, repugnant. A crime it is for everybody. Right? So you heard Kaichun News was called up. Out there, them. The American People's Association. PP don't like them. All because they're dancing to the tune of PPP. Independent thinkers in their own deliberate judgment. And then the opposition get called. So as I was at the National Assembly, I sought to get an initial reaction from somebody who has been feeling very passionate about this issue as a mother, as a woman. On the sidelines of the sitting of the National Assembly today, I asked Amanda Walton is there, what were her impression? What were her impressions? Have you come into the National Assembly more fully because some things happened there today? My God. While this was going on, one side of the tongue, on the next side of the tongue, you had the sitting of the National Assembly. And a man who had spoken before on this issue very passionately. Very passionately. And we wanted to get her thoughts again. We wanted to get her thoughts again on the very issue. Let's take a listen. Let's take a look. The Minister of, Shadow Minister of Foreign Affairs and the National Cooperation, the shadow of this portfolio, Amanda Walton is here speaking as a mother and as a woman. And still the opposition name got called. Why not? Why not, good folks? Why not? That's why I'm asking. Why not? Take a look. Take a look and take a listen. The guys are queuing it up for us. Take a look and take a listen. And while they queue that up, all right, I think we got it set, folks. Take a look and take a listen, folks, of what the Member of Parliament said.
I can start, ma'am.
Okay, well, I'll just get a leading question. Your thoughts on the recently released video, the new episode in Darmlal Saga?
Oh, yes, I've been following this Dharamlal saga closely today because it was brought to my attention a video of the young lady who had accused Minister Dharamlal of rape. And I've also been following the releases by some notable social media personalities, more or less contradicting what was released in that video. And I am deeply concerned for the welfare and the emotional and mental state of that child. And I want to emphasize that she is a child. She is still a minor, not over 18. And so I think even though she presents in a mature manner, we have to understand that this is still a child, and that must underpin all of our considerations, irrespective of how maybe riled up we may feel, we have to bear that in mind, in the back of our minds. Now, when I listened to the video, a couple of things occurred to me. One, there was no emphasis whatsoever on the legal issues surrounding this matter. There was no emphasis or reference to the interviews conducted whilst this child was in CPA. There was no reference to the complaint that took Mr. Dharamlal down to the police station. There was no reference to the reason for him needing to retain an attorney. None of that was referenced. And so you have to see this for what it is. And that is a last ditch effort by the PPPC or elements within the PPPC to sort of clear the way for Nigel Dharamlal's reintroduction into public office. But it has failed, and it has failed miserably. Because, like I said, when you dissect that statement, and clearly it was a very carefully curated statement, when you dissect it, you realize that it had serious political undertones. It referenced the opposition, it referenced the Amerindian People's Association, it referenced activists, etc. So you could see that it was with a political objective in mind. Having said that, you note that the young lady in that video never said that there was no rape. What she said is that the sex did not happen. And the reason for that is whoever curated that statement or prepared that statement for her understood that if she was ever on record as saying there was no rape, she could be liable to be charged for filing a false police report and liable for all kinds of lawsuits being leveled against her for by the minister in question. But that has not happened. When you look at as well at the fact that she says, I thought that it ended with his resignation. Why would he need to resign if clearly he were not culpable of some misdemeanor or the other? And then now we're seeing screenshots of conversations that this young lady had. We've heard voice notes released in which she indicated that he did this to her. So in all of this, what I want to urge us as a nation to see is that we have a government that has clearly demonstrated that it has no bones about the continued exploitation of our children. This is a child. And what has happened with the release of that video had to be okayed by someone higher in the PPP government. This is the continued victimization of a victim. And I want to say to those who would, be understandably upset that you've gone out there and you've protested and here, this is what has happened. I want to say to us that we must continue to sound our voices against injustice anywhere. We have a duty as citizens to continue to speak up on behalf of those who can't speak for themselves, because lawlessness would win the day that we decide that we are not going to be silent anymore. Now, of course, I'm concerned because there are victims out there who are living the trauma of being raped and molested. And so we have to continue to speak up. There's a danger that what has happened could set those victims back in terms of their mental state, in terms of the state of the population believing victims. And so this has serious implications for how we as a nation are going to build our society. So we have to see it for what it is, that this PPPC administration is okay with exploiting our children to this extent. This is a child. Where were her parents when this video was done? Did they sanction this? And who could have thought that it was a good idea to have a minor child release such a statement? All of these are questions that we have to ask. It's very easy to get upset with her, and I understand why some people might be, but we have to see it for what it is, the continued exploitation of our children by a government who will stop at nothing to defend some of their miscreants in their ranks. So we have to continue to pray for her. We have to continue to send her, you know, the best wishes, I think, because I don't think she has been able to fully understand. And again, like I said, she's a child. She has not been able to properly process all of this trauma. And I think we as a society, this is a teachable moment for us. It will demonstrate our maturity in dealing with these issues, whether we will participate in re-victimizing a victim or recognizing a predatory government for who they are. So those are my initial thoughts on all of this.
Thank you very much.
Folks, those were the MP's initial reactions. Yep. Season 2, episode 2. And the night is young. Who knows what else could happen? Who knows what else could happen? The night is young, folks. And as we're in the National Assembly, let me stay there for a couple of minutes. Don't go nowhere yet. Don't go nowhere yet. Because in the National Assembly today, the bishop, he said what has been holding some contractors back from executing their projects in a timely manner, folks. Spirits and supernatural forces. Folks, one-sided tongue. Season 2, episode 2, the Damlal Saga. Season 2, episode 2, and in Parliament is spirits and supernatural forces. You go wanna hold to the edge of your seat for the bishop. You see, the PPP will do anything and say anything. That is the takeaway. They will do anything and say anything. Since in the National Assembly, I spoke with Amanzo Walton this year, the member of Parliament, on the sidelines of the National Assembly. Yeah. But let me take Sukai before we take the bishop and yours truly. You know, this administration, got some people in it. You know, it's a work, you know. And so today in the National Assembly, we saw the veteran politician, Volder Angler, in schooling. Sukai. I know Kwame, like he went in front of making copious notes. Schooling. Folks, I think this country easy. We don't try to be funny. You know, we don't try to get plenty likes and share and all that. We just report what's happening in this country on a daily basis. Listen to the exchange between Pauline Sukai, who has spoken up for the first time after a long time on money matters. They come to the National Assembly for some money. So Pauline run out. But I think she'll run him back after Volder Upshea. You know, they were talking about a particular fund. Pauline got it right on the paper, but like Pauline even know what she on paper. She know on the script. Take a look, folks, and take a listen. As for the National Assembly, take a look. Don't go nowhere. Edgel coming up. You don't want to hear Edgel. You're going to want to hear Edgel. Don't go nowhere. Take a look and take a listen. Edgel and supernatural occurrences and spirits stopping the projects of the government. But first, Sukai. And Comrade Lawrence.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, Minister, the Consolidated Fund, the Fiscal Management and Accountability Act of 2003 says that when we go to the contingency fund to take out monies, that it must meet a set of criteria. It speaks about unforeseen. It speaks about it being an emergency, etc. And here it is, you're coming to the House 6 weeks after the budget. And you're asking us to approve in this House an allocation of $4.7 billion, which is 175% greater than the allocation that we gave to you in the budget. Could you just say what was unforeseen? What is the emergency? What was the explanation you gave to the cabinet as the minister responsible for finance? He said that the cabinet considered it. What was that explanation given? Could you share the urgency with us? Could you share the importance? Could you share what was unforeseen at the time when you presented the budget? Thank you.
Honorable Minister of Armed Affairs.
Mr. Speaker, if the honorable member does not recognize in this day and age that there is an emergency, that there is haste, and that there is importantly enough justification for indigenous development to be accelerated. They themselves appeal to this nation that they wanted to close the gaps. What gaps? At least you recognize that there are gaps that you have been responsible for a number of years. And therefore, when the PPP civic government is making and taking a strong position to address the gaps, isn't that an emergency? Are you telling me that indigenous people's development is not an emergency, that it is not important? Say it to this House, say it to this nation.
Honorable Member, Ms. Lawrence.
Mr. Chairman, let me just say to the Honorable Minister, with all due respect, the issue here on this side of the House is not spending monies on our people, whether they're indigenous or not. It is about accountability. It is about transparency. That is what it is. Mr. Chair, I will allow the people of Guyana to judge. I will move on to my next question. Oh, Mr. Chair?
No. Go ahead, you're on the floor, Honorable Member, Ms. Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, could the Honorable Minister indicate what is the legal standing of the Amerindian Development Fund?
Honorable Minister of Armed Affairs.
Mr. Speaker, the matter under consideration has no or the question just posed has no relevance under this issue that we're discussing.
Honorable Member, Mr. Patterson.
Mr. Chair, sorry. Could you please give me?
Go ahead, Honorable Member, Ms.
Mr.
Lawrence.
Chair, this document was circulated by this Parliament. What is happening here this afternoon? It says, and may I read so that the public can hear, it says item 1, agency code 16-162, agency Ministry of Amerindian Affairs, Community Development and Empowerment, chart of account 1400-100, description, Amerindian Development Fund, voted provision, $2.740 billion. Local, that is now being requested, $4,743,000. Mr. Speaker, I'm not making up the Amerindian Development Fund. I am asking the minister, since the document here says that the description is the Amerindian Development Fund, I'm asking what is the legal standing? We're talking about billions of dollars. putting into a fund. I have never seen a report from this Amerindian Development Fund laid in this parliament or anywhere else. And so I'm asking for accountability and transparency. What is the legal standing of the Amerindian Development Fund?
That's beat and teach. The Amerindian Development Fund, right on the paper, in front of Sukai, right on the paper. The former minister asking the question pertaining to the Amerindian Development Fund. Sukai said have no relevance. Oh, Sukai, oh. Sukai said a word on this young lady, you know, this 16-year-old that we just showed you all. Sukai has not uttered a word on her. A word. But they spent out the money already that the budget passed for Indigenous brothers and sisters in January, in February of this year. They'll come back for 4 billion more. And she don't want a question asking it. The question on the very fund, she asking for the 4 billion for, she said, it has no relevance on the very fund. It's madness. Come on, Sukai, pay attention. Pick up the pace, Sukai. I'm telling you all, you're going to want to hear the supernatural bit with Agil. You're going to want to hear the supernatural bit with Agil. But I want y'all folks to know, and y'all know, things tight in this country. Things tight in this country. And Ashini, the minister with responsibility for finance, but in the office of the president, he keep coming up short. He keep coming up short. In the last budget passed in February of this year, they set aside $5 billion to ease the cost of living. $5 billion to ease the cost of living. You know, to date, they start implementing any of those plans. They haven't started implementing any of those things. Ashley told the National Assembly today, when the time comes, we can tell you all what the plans are. And we can tell you all how we're rolling it out. And Annette Ferguson also, you know, they love to talk about this 200 taxes. 200 taxes that they what they say? They struck off the books, they write off, they nullified under the Act New. Annette Ferguson asked, list the 200 taxes. List the 200 taxes. You know what they said? Oh, it's already been reported on by the media. They can list the 200 taxes that they claim all the time to have covered net and nullified and erased. Oh, it's in the media. Oh, it has been widely reported on in the media. These 200 taxes are listed nowhere. So listen to the Minister of Finance on this 200 taxes that they write off. And then on the 5 billion to ease the high cost of living. Since February, the budget was passed for this 5 billion to be absorbed into the economy, different programs to help you and I out, to help our Indigenous brothers and sisters, wherever you live in this country. Folks, by the finance minister's own admission, he hasn't implemented any of it. By his own admission, he hasn't implemented any of it. So take a listen to the 200 tax and the 5 billion to ease the high cost of living in Guyana. And then we circle him back, folks, after this, to the bishop, supernatural occurrences and the spirits preventing the implementation of government contracts in a timely manner. But first, the taxes. But first, the 5 billion to ease the high cost of living.
Mr. Speaker. So question 2, or part 2 of question 14. Can the minister inform the National Assembly of what assessment was used to arrive at 5 billion to address the high cost of living? So this is question 2, or part 2. Then perhaps I can proceed up to proceed up to part 5, if with your permission. Oh, one by one. So,
Honorable Minister, you have them before you. You can deal.
Mr. Speaker, if I might perhaps help the honorable member. The question has 5 parts, and if I understood your last but one intervention, you're granting permission for all 5 parts to be put at one time, and I will then respond to them. Initially, the honorable member only put part 1 of the question, and I responded to the part that was put. Would you like her, sir, now to put all 5 parts?
Honorable member, I put the question, how many parts, that's irrelevant to me. I put the question, so you can answer all.
I
if you
say
want.
I
All
say
the
this
parts.
only because the honourable member has only read part 2.
Go ahead, Honorable Minister,
well.
please, go
Very
ahead.
well, sir. So if I might, sir, in my current intervention, address all 5 parts of the question as published in the notice paper. The honourable member asks in part 2, what assessment was done to arrive at $5 billion? And in response to that, sir, as previously indicated, in fact, when this question was last asked, $5 billion represents the best estimate at the time that we were preparing the budget, our best estimate of what the total value of the interventions that we would implement would comprise. Needless to say, sir, it represents an estimate as at that time. The future engagements and consultations that we would engage in, as well as the evolving global and domestic economic situation, will of course determine whether that sum would need to be augmented. But the $5 billion represented our estimate of the value of the interventions that would be needed, and that estimate having been formulated at the time that we were doing the budget. Part 3 of the question inquires about whether there is a regional disaggregation, and the answer to that is no. Part 4 inquires when the sum is expected to be rolled out across the regions. And my answer to that, sir, is the interventions will be implemented during the course of the current fiscal year and certainly before the end of the fiscal year. And, sir, can the minister inform the National Assembly what mechanisms are in place to ensure that timely announcements are made? Sir, once the interventions are determined, they will be announced using the traditional and standard means for communicating government interventions, including, of course, state agencies such as the Department for Public Information and other similar public communications. And of course, the public communications portfolio of the government is very ably led and managed and discharged by my distinguished colleague, Minister Kwame McCoy. Thank you very much, sir.
I'm dissatisfied with the response.
Folks, you heard that? You heard that? I think the guys brought us back a little too soon before we heard the 1 and the 200 taxes. But you heard that? Folks, since February, the opposition agreed with the government for a $5 billion intervention to bring down the high cost of living. The Minister of Finance told us they have not implemented any of the plan to date. Since February, that money was passed in the National Assembly. Since February, it was passed. Maybe it's the supernatural forces, maybe it's the spirits, according to the bishop that caused the $5 billion not to be implemented. Good folks. A question was asked to the Minister of, Works? The Minister of Works. They got a piece of development, if you want to call it that. A piece of construction happening, St. John Road, between Hatfield Street, is that Hatfield? Princess Street on one side, and you have the Mandala Avenue on the next side. Cemetery Road, coming through the cemetery. The thing has come to a standstill. The project has come to a standstill. And so the question was asked to the bishop. This is what the National Assembly does. The opposition scrutinizes the work of the government and hold them accountable. Bishop, why this project stall? Bishop, why the project stall? Folks, I thought the bishop will have a lot of power to deal with the supernatural. I thought so. Not this one. He's a fraud bishop. He's a false prophet, and it was proven today. So why did the project stall? Why did the project stall? Why did the project stall, Bishop? Take a look. Take a listen. Share the damn live, no man. Smash the emoji button and let me go down the road.
This project, sir, started on time, shortly after signing of the contract. But the evidence is there, and it's now known around that the contractor has had to change several teams because of the location of this project and the superstitious nature of our country. When some members of staff started falling sick, there was some interpretation by some that it had to do with some supernatural force that was at work and the rest of it, and workers started staying away from the project. So that's one of the things that delayed the project.
Honorable Member, Mr. Duncan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to ask the honorable member on the first, he said that he spoke about the snags in the project, and he referenced spirits frightening away the workers. The bishop said the spirits, and I wanted to ask him what has been the situation to date with the spirits and the workers, and if the condition persists that the spirits are running the workers out of the burial ground, what will be the intervention of the government on the spirits running the workers and presenting snags in the project? That's the question.
It's not the first time we've had to deal with these phenomena. Honorable Member, Mr. Henry, it's not the first time in the House. Go ahead, Bishop.
Mr. Speaker, whenever I come to this assembly, I think we come here to do serious business. This is not a comedy show. This is not a comedy show. And I repeat again, this is not a comedy show. Men were out there working who took ill. And because of the nature of our country and beliefs, people ascribe the illness to be because of where they are working. I never said anything in this assembly about spirits. Never said so. Never said so. You are so obsessed with spirits.
Go ahead, Honorable Minister, please.
Mr. Speaker, for the purpose of clarity, I would want to ask that the Hansard be retrieved.
We will.
To deal with that. Because when members take things of people's welfare lightly and try to trivialize it, it speaks about the nature of leadership that we are providing as a country. Because if people are working and a team of men started a job, some got ill and they pulled off, their family says don't return, recruiting new people became a challenge because they heard the first set got ill. I was simply saying about the nature of our country and the kinds of beliefs that people harbor. Never spoke about spirits interfering with anybody. Because as far as I know theologically, a dead person can't have a spirit. A dead person can't have a spirit.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable members.
This
Bishop, folks. The Bishop. That's what he felt. Supernatural forces and phenomenons causing the government projects not to go forward. That is what he said. Men getting ill and so on. I thought the bishop would have gone in there and read the right acts. The right act to the phenomenons and the supernatural forces. Say the blood of Jesus, Robokoteyende, get out of here. I cast you out, devil. But this is a false prophet. This fellow here is a false prophet. You need to see nothing else. You need to see nothing else. And that's what the good book says. Many shall say, Lord, Lord. And on that great and terrible day of judgment, he said, get thee behind me. I never knew you. Get from me. He can say, get from me. I never knew you. That is what he shall say. And just in case you miss it, we can run it one more time.
This project, sir, started on time, shortly after signing of the contract. But the evidence is there, and it's now known around that the contractor has had to change several teams because of the location of this project and the superstitious nature of our country. When some members of staff started falling sick, there was some interpretation by some that it had to do with some supernatural force that was at work and the rest of it, and workers started staying away from the project. So that's one of the things that delayed the project.
Honorable Member, Mr. Duncan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to ask the honorable member on the first, he said he spoke about the snags in the project, and he referenced spirits frightening away the workers. The bishop said the spirits, and I wanted to ask him, what has been the situation to date with the spirits and the workers, and if the condition persists that the spirits are running the workers out of the burial ground, what will be the intervention of the government on the spirits running the workers and presenting snags in the project? That's the question.
It's not the first time we've had to deal with these phenomena. Honorable Member, Mr. Henry, it's not the first time, he knows. Go ahead, Bishop.
Mr. Speaker, whenever I come to this assembly, I think we come here to do serious business. This is not a comedy show. This is not a comedy show. And I repeat again, this is not a comedy show. Men were out there working who took ill. And because of the nature of our country and beliefs, people ascribe the illness to be because of where they are working. I never said anything in this assembly about spirits. Never said so. Never said so. You are so obsessed with spirits.
Go ahead, Honorable Minister, please.
Mr. Speaker, for the purpose of clarity, I would want to ask that the Hansard be retrieved.
We will.
To deal with that. Because when members take things of people's welfare lightly and try to trivialize it, it speaks about the nature of leadership that we are providing as a country. Because if people are working and a team of men started a job, some got ill and they pulled off, their family says don't return, recruiting new people became a challenge because they heard the first set got ill. I was simply saying about the nature of our country and the kinds of beliefs that people harbor. Never spoke about spirits interfering with anybody. Because as far as I know theologically, a dead person can't have a spirit. A dead person can't have a spirit.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable members.
Want to keep getting the best in the ring?
That's right.
Yes, you can help us to keep going by partnering with us through your contributions. And it's easy. Send us a daily, weekly, or monthly donation, whichever is most convenient to you. Cash App at $InTheRing592, Zelle and PayPal InTheRing592@gmail.com, or WhatsApp us on 627-6963 for how to contribute via MoneyGram and Western Union and for MMG payments. Want to keep getting the best in the ring?
That's right.
Yes, you can help us to keep going by partnering with us through your contributions. And it's easy. Send us a daily, weekly, or monthly donation, whichever is most convenient to you. Cash App at $ in the ring 592, Zelle and PayPal in the ring 592 at gmail.com, or WhatsApp us on 627-6963 for how to contribute via MoneyGram and Western Union and for MMG payments. Want to get
Yep. The spirits, folks, you want to watch them as you head off to work, as you head to bed. You want to watch them. Watch them spirits, you hear? That's our time. And that's our program. And that's the last bell, folks. Thanks for joining us tonight. Sandra Hanover, Donna Joseph, Deborah Clark. Share the damn live before you go. Smash that emoji button before you go. Arsena, thanks for joining us. Maville Schultz, Glenford Gordon, Yvonne McPherson, Faye, David and Joylyn, Asquith, Susan Jacobs, Dan Graves, Andy. Watch for them spirits. Watch for the forces, the supernatural forces. Watch for them. Jennifer Griffith, and all you good folks, Carl Williams, respect and manners. Have a great evening, folks. Peace and power. That's our time. That's our program. Stay safe, guys. Stay safe. Watch for them, guys. The spirits.